back to the YouTube channel of Pro Enzo Vids, and this is my round 3 Super League tips for 2022. Last week I got about 4 out of 6 last week in terms of my tips and how many I got right and wrong. Bit disappointing in some of the games, I guess, because I would have thought I would have been a bit better this week and aimed for a 6 out of 6. Because round 1 I got 5 out of 6, and obviously round 2 4 out of 6. So looking to get that 6 out of 6 aim this week. So yeah, but not, either way, it should be a good round of Super League and footy. So yeah, this is my tips for round 3. So the first game I'll be getting into is the Leeds Rhinos versus the Catalans Dragons at Headingley Stadium, home of the Leeds Rhinos. On to the first game now with Leeds Rhinos versus the Catalans Dragons. So obviously, first of all, Leeds, they come off a very disappointing loss to Wigan Warriors last week at DW Stadium. Yeah, it was obviously not a good result. I was expecting a lot more from Leeds this week. I mean, they lost 34 points to 12, and that's obviously very disappointing because I thought, they're a team that's in, title contention this year. I thought they would fight a bit more and play a bit more better footy, but obviously not. Wigan were just too good. And as for Catalans Dragons, they narrowly beat Wakefield Trinity. I was unsure actually, because I thought Wakefield could have actually won for a second, but Catalans were just a bit too good in the end, so they just managed to hang on and win. But for this game, I will be tipping. It's tough, but I will be tipping Leeds to finally bounce back. They're back at Headingley Stadium, whatever it's called, and they're back at home now. I can't really see them losing 3 straight games, so I'll go Leeds to win by about 16 points, by about 12 to 10 points at least. With the second game of the round now, it's Wigan Warriors versus the Huddersfield Giants. Look, Wigan have been very good to start the 2022 campaign. Obviously, 2 straight wins that were all pretty decent against Hull KR and most recently Leeds. So, they've been going pretty well, Wigan Warriors. I think players like Cady Cuss have been really good. Liam Marshall, Pierce Paul, they've all been pretty good, I think, Wigan. Their team's really performing, and I think, they're in for a solid season if they can keep being consistent with the wins. As for Huddersfield, they also got a win last week against Hull KR, winning. They won 26 points to 12 at the home ground. So it was another good win by Huddersfield. They're obviously on a 2-game winning streak as well. So obviously this week, one team will finally get a loss in round 3. Who am I tipping? Yeah, look, I'll tip Wigan to win. I think Wigan I can trust a bit more, to be honest. And I think Wigan are a team that look very good coming to this year. So I think they'll finally end Huddersfield's winning streak for the start of the year. Now it's Hull KR versus Castleford Tigers for the third game now of round 3. Hull KR have been pretty good up until last week, I believe. Obviously, their loss against Huddersfield was disappointing. I tipped Hull KR to actually win that game as well, which I was stupid now to really be tipping them when I think about it. But yeah, the Robins were a bit disappointing last week, so they would obviously want to bounce back from that loss. As for Castleford, well, Castleford have also been not great either. They've started the year with 2 straight losses, and they got thumped by Leeds last week, and Leeds were just, Warrington, apologies for that. Warrington Wolves were just way too good for Castleford, and they won 34 points to 10, so, it was obviously a very dominant win there, and not a great performance by Castleford, so, both teams are sort of mixed bags at the moment. You don't know what to expect by both sides, so this should be an interesting game. But who am I tipping? This week I will tip Hull KR to win. I can just trust them a bit more, and I think they've got a bit more to give than what Castleford do, and I just think they'll have the better squad and better team to kind of get the win in the end. So I'll tip Hull KR to win by about 6 points. Right, now on the Saturday, it's my team St Helens versus Wakefield Trinity, and this game has been held at the home ground of Saints, so that's obviously totally wicked stadium. So hopefully Saints can get up this weekend and continue the 3-game winning streak, while Wakefield themselves have been pretty good actually. I've been impressed with Wakefield. They obviously haven't won any games, but they have been pretty decent, to be fair, the way they've started this year. Obviously for Saints, we had a massive win over Hull FC, winning 38 points to 6. Just a great display and a great performance by the club. I thought guys like Curtis Sirinen were good. You know, Lomax, who unfortunately got injured, but I thought he had a decent game still. So, all in all, it was a good performance by Saints, so I was very happy as a fan to see him get the win there. Obviously, for Wakefield, they came very short to Catalan Dragons, losing 24-22. They could have won that game. I really think they could have around the end, but just unfortunate not to get there, get the win quite. But yeah, for this game, not to be rude, but I think it's pretty obvious who I'm going to go with for a good reason as well. Saints to win by about 20 to 30 points at least. I just think they're on fire at the moment. You know, they've got such a world-class team, and they're going to be way too much for Wakefield. So Saints to win. On to the second last game now. It's Hull FC versus Salford Red Devils, and this game is at MKM Stadium, the home of Hull FC. Yeah, so obviously with Hull FC, they had a massive loss to my team Saints, losing 38 points to 6 by 32. Yeah, look, it was obviously a very disappointing result. You know, they should have been a lot better, I think, as well. They started all right, but they just did not click after Saints scored the first try of the match. So they've been a bit disappointing so far, Hull FC. I was expecting a bit better from them to start the season. As for Salford, you know, Salford have been really good. Even though they've been beating some, you know, not great clubs like Castleford and Toulouse, they've still been going really well. And I still think that, you know, some of their signings and just the squad in general is really clicking, and they seem to be in good form. But my tip for this game, I will back Salford again. I think Salford will win 3 straight games there. They look really good. They have a bit of confidence, actually, which is always a good thing. So I'll back them to win by about 8 points. On to the last game of the round now. It's Toulouse Olympic versus the Warrington Wolves, and this game kicks off at the home ground of Toulouse. So, yeah, on to last week's results. You know, Toulouse were very poor against the Salford Red Devils, losing 38 points to 12. They just don't seem to be really clicking at the moment. They don't really seem to be hitting any type of form. I know they're a new Super League club, and I know it's going to take time for them to sort of gel and sort of, you know, get into the whole rhythm of playing this sort of competition, but still they need to get some wins soon, and they need to sort of get some momentum if they want to go anywhere. As for Warrington, they had a pretty easy win over Castleford last week, winning 34 points to 10. Always going to happen, and they're always going to be, you know, big winners. So Warrington on a good starting the year well actually. But my tip for this game, pretty obvious. I'll go Warrington to win by about 30 points at least. So I expect Warrington to have a big win and put the sword to Toulouse. Now that brings an end to my Super League tips for round 3. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed it, make sure you do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And let me know your tips for the week ahead in the comment section down below. But until then, see you in the next one.